The U.S. Congress held its first public hearing on UFOs, unidentified flying objects, in over 50 years. During the hearing, 2 military officials from the Pentagon were called before a committee in the House of Representatives specializing in counterterrorism and intelligence to provide details about the U.S. efforts to explain the UFO phenomenon. Since the early 2000s, we have been observing an increasing number of unauthorized or unidentified objects, stated Scott Bray, Deputy Director of Naval Intelligence for the U.S. Navy, as reported by AFP and cited by AJRPers. He attributed this increase to the considerable efforts of the American military to destigmatize the act of reporting observations and advancements in technology. In June 2021, the U.S. intelligence services already stated in a long-awaited report that there is no evidence of the existence of extraterrestrials, while acknowledging that dozens of phenomena observed by military pilots cannot be explained. Some of these phenomena could be explained by the presence of drones or birds that create confusion in the radar systems of the U.S. military. Others could be attributed to tests of equipment or military technologies carried out by other powers, such as China or Russia. The U.S. military and intelligence services are primarily seeking to determine whether these unidentified aerial phenomena could be linked to threats against the United States.
The last public hearing on UFOs took place in 1966 when Republican Congressman Gerald Ford, the future President of the United States, convened a series of hearings to discuss an incident in Michigan where over 40 people, including police officers, observed an unidentified object.
In 1969, an investigation by the United States Air Force into UFOs, called Project Blue Book, was closed after determining that no flying object had ever been confirmed or considered a threat to national security of the U.S. In 2017, the American press reported on the Pentagon's secret efforts to investigate testimonies from pilots and members of the U.S. military who reported seeing strange objects in the sky.
An unidentified flying object, UFO, is the generic term given to real or apparent flying objects that cannot be identified as anything known, natural phenomenon or human-made creation, even after a specialized investigation. The term was introduced around the 1950s. Currently, the term unidentified aerial phenomenon, UAP, is preferred, as it is not always certain that it is an object, and sometimes observations of UAPs have been made on the ground, underwater, and even in outer space. However, the term UFO is too widely known to be completely eliminated. The term flying saucer emerged on June 24, 1947, when businessman Kenneth Arnold, flying alone in his personal plane over the mountains in the northwest United States, saw several silver objects passing by him at an incredible speed, which he later described as skipping like a saucer thrown flat across the water's surface. The next day, newspapers were writing about flying saucers. UFOs can be nocturnal lights, daytime objects, radar and radar visual objects. If a UFO is seen at a distance of less than 150 meters, the phenomenon is called a close encounter of the first kind. If it is less than 150 meters away and leaves physical traces, on the ground, on plants, on living beings, on humans, on equipment, etc., it is referred to as a close encounter of the second kind. If occupants are also present, it is called a close encounter of the third kind. More recently, an alleged abduction of humans is referred to as a close encounter of the fourth kind.